So hi guys and welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are doing good and safe. So today we're going to discuss something quite important. How to judge time complexity required to solve a question based on its input constraints. So this is quite a common doubt. A lot of people have asked me that how to judge the time complexity which is required to solve this particular question just by looking at the constraints. So today we're going to discuss that. So if you like today's video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and share this video amongst all of your friends and fellow coders. So it is quite often that people find this error in their codes, TLE. And this happens when you've used a time complexity which is greater than the required time complexity. So for example, if you've solved a question in O(n) square while it was supposed to be solved in O(n), this error appears, which is called time limit exceeded. Alright. So how to judge which question has to be solved in O(n) and which has to be solved in O(n) square is quite important. And this could be decoded by looking carefully at the input constraints. Besides this, another problem that people face and waste a lot of time in is that they get to the wrong solution or try to decode a problem in wrong time complexity. So for example, if there's a complex problem in front of you, it is sometimes intuitive to solve it in O(n) because maybe adjacent elements are involved, or you see it as a single iteration. But those questions do not necessarily need to be solved in O(n), they could be solved in O(n) square as well. And that is a solution you might reach upon quite easily. So if you try to go to O(n) for a question that requires an O(n) square complexity, you are sort of wasting your time. And time is quite precious whether you're giving a contest on a platform like CodeChef or Codeforces or anywhere else, or you're sitting for a coding interview. Similarly, the other way around is also possible. As I discussed before, that if a problem needs to be solved in O(n) and you've solved it in O(n) square, it will give you TLE. So these problems are quite common and waste a lot of time. But today we're going to learn a way around to this problem. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and without further ado, let's start looking at solving this. So today we'll be looking at some of these complexities is O(n), O(n) square, O(n) log n, O1, O(n) cube, exponential time complexity which is 2 to the power or 3 to the power or something like that, n root n, and some more complexities. So I'll be walking you through different constraints that are quite available on different sites, and based on those constraints, we'll be talking about different time complexities. So let's start. So as you can see that I've already made a table where I've mentioned different time complexities along the column and different constraints of n along the row. So these are n and these are time complexities. All right. So there's another thing that I forgot to mention, that these all are less than equal to. So n less than equal to. All right. And here I already mentioned, so I don't need to mention it here. So first time complexity I'm going to discuss is O of 1. That means a constant. So O of 1 doesn't mean one operation. It means k constant operations. All right. That this is independent of n. Irrespective of how big or small your n is, this particular problem will require a fixed number of operations. So this kind of n time complexity is valid for all the constraints. All right. So this is fixed operations. Right. Now let's talk about what is an operation. And mind, I'm saying operation and not a calculation. An operation can be input, output. It could be bitwise OR, comparison, or anything. Whereas calculations could be more of arithmetic operations, which we call plus, minus, divide, multiply, modulus, etc. I'm speaking here about operations and not calculations. So this entire concept of time complexity is based upon that online compilers generally solve 5 into 10 to the power 7 operations per second. So if you're given a time limit of 1 second, that means you have to solve within this, that you cannot take more than 5 into 10 to the power 7 operations. Now because it also involves sometimes input, sometimes output, etc., we approximate it to 10 to the power 7. Right? So 10 to the power 7 is what we are going to focus upon and not 5 into 10 to the power 7. Because you'll understand that why that is important when we come to fast input output as well. So without further ado, let's start with the first time complexity that we're going to discuss, or rather I should say the first constraint. So the first constraint I'm going to discuss is about 10 to the power 5. So of course O1 is valid. Now let's talk about O of log n. So one common mistake people do is that this base is 2. This is not 10. This is not natural log. When I talk about log n here, it's log of the base 2. So 10 to the power 5 base 2 is less than 20. Right. So 20 is greater than, so 2 to the power 20 is greater than 10 to the power 7, and 2 to the, so definitely 10 to the power 5 is less than 20. How do you get this? Is simply that we know that 2 to the power 10 is equal to 1024, and 1024 into 1024 is greater than 10 to the power 7. So that is something that you can look at later. So looking at this, I can say that log n is a valid complexity. So log n is valid. Again, O of n is also valid because n is 10 to the power 5 and 10 to the power 5 is less than 10 to the power 7. Now let's talk about n log n. So as I already mentioned that log n is less than 20. So that means 10 to the power 5 into 20. In fact, it is less than it. So 1 point something, right? And this approximates to 10 to the power, actually, sorry, 10 to the power 6. So we can safely say 2 into 10 to the power 6, something like that. So n log n is also valid. All right. So I'll just keep the color same, so there is no confusion there, right? So I'll mark it with green as well. All right. So n log n is valid. Now let's talk about n root n. So n is 10 to the power 5. Root n is root of 10 to the power 5, which is approximately 10 to the power 5 into 100 root 10, which is 300, approximately 300. It is a little above 300 into 10 to the power 5, which is 3 into 10 to the power 7. Now you can see here that this is greater than 10 to the power 7, but not much greater. So if we use a technique called fast input output, fast IO, this complexity becomes valid. So I'm not going to put a tick here. I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use blue here, a blue tick, to express fast IO. All right. Whereas n square, you can see that n square is 10 to the power 10, which is of course more than 10 to the power 7. So this is not valid, and all of these are arranged in ascending order. So none of the time complexities more than n square are also invalid. So all of these are invalid. Now let's discuss the next common constraint. So let me rub this off first. So let me just clear out the canvas for you. All right. So next is 10 to the power 6. So for 10 to the power 6, you can see that log n is again valid, as I discussed that 10 to the power 7 only crosses 20. So definitely this is also valid, right? So is O of n, because 10 to the power 6 is less than 10 to the power 7, right? N log n, if we talk about n log n, again, n log n is also valid because it doesn't cross 20, right? It will be something like 20 into 10 to the power 6 at best, which is 2 into 10 to the power 7. In fact, it's going to be lesser than that, and this is a valid complexity. All right. So because it is only crossing a bit, and it is not going to 2 into 10 to the power 7, it is less than it. So I don't need a blue tick here. I don't need fast input output. This will still be valid. All right. So now talk about n root n. So 10 to the power 6 into root of 10 to the power 6, which is 10 to the power 6 into 10 to the power 3, which is 10 to the power 9. So definitely this is invalid because 10 to the power 9 is greater than 10 to the power 7. So all of the time complexities after n log n, which is n root n, n square log n cube log n, and exponential time complexity are all invalid for this case. So now let's move on to the next complexity. So this is also complexity you find quite oftenly in questions, which is 10 to the power 9. Okay, which is 10 to the power 9. So in 10 to the power 9's case, you can see that definitely O of n is invalid, right? And as I discussed earlier, that all of these are in increasing order. So if O of n is invalid, O of n log n, O of n root n, and all of these are also invalid as well. So that leaves us with log n. All right. So for 10 to the power n, again, log n will be somewhere converging into not even 100. It's a very small number again. So log n is still valid. So O of log n is still valid, right? So now let's move on next to 10 to the power 3. Now this is a complexity that you will find in matrices commonly. In questions that concern matrices, this is a complexity that is quite common, that there are 10 to the power 3 rows and 10 to the power 3 columns. When you have to iterate the entire matrix, this will be the constraint you will be given. All right. So this is quite a hint in matrix questions, that when we have to iterate over the entire matrix and when we do not have to iterate over the entire matrix. All right. So for 10 to the power 3, by the law of induction, as I already mentioned, that all of these are in ascending order, and for any number less than 10 to the power 5, I have already mentioned all of the correct time complexities. So for 10 to the power 3, all of those complexities are also valid. You can check it mathematically as well. So by induction, I'm just marking it here again, sorry, with green, that n log n is valid, n is valid, n log n is valid, and n root n is also valid. So for 10 to the power 3, when you take root n, it will not even get up to 10 to the power 5. So it will remain less than 10 to the power 5, which is definitely valid. Now for n square, you can see that 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 3 is equal to 10 to the power 6. So this is also valid. Now for n square log n. Now when we talk about n square log n, let's check it out mathematically. So n square I know is 10 to the power 6 into log n, right? So log of 10 to the power 3. Now we know that this is approximately 10, because we know that 10 to the power 10, 2 to the power 10 is 1024. So 1000 will say approximately 10. So this becomes 10 to the power 6 into 10, which is 10 to the power 7. Again, a valid complexity we've got here. So n square log n is also valid. What about n cube? So the cube of 10 to the power 3 is 10 to the power 9, which is greater than 10 to the power 7, and hence invalid. And by the law of induction, if n cube is invalid, n cube log n, and exponent is also invalid. All right, now let's talk about, let's clear this out first, of course, so that the clarity is better. Let's talk about here 10 square. So 10 square is actually 100, not approximate, is exactly 100. So first of all, by the law of induction, I can say log n, on, n log n, root n square, and n square log n are valid, because 10 square is obviously less than equal to 10 cube as well. Here, now let's talk about n cube. So 10 to the power 2 cube is equal to 10 to the power 6, which is less than 10 to the power 7, and hence this is also valid. Let's talk about n cube log n. So 10 to the power 6 into log of 100, right? So you can see that, so 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and then 128. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So approximately 2 to the power 8 we can take, that 100 is approximately 2 to the power 8, and hence log is 8. So this is 8 into 10 to the power 6, which is again lesser than 10 to the power 7, and n cube log n is also valid. But the exponent is still not valid, as you can see here, that 2 to the power 100, right? So when I talked about that it only 2 to the power 20 was crossing 10 to the power 7, then of course 2 to the power 100 is a very large number. It is 1024 to the power 100. It's a very, very large number, and hence exponent is also invalid here. You can see exponent is invalid. So I'll mark it with red, so as there's no confusion. So this is invalid. Okay. Now let's talk about our final constraint by clearing everything out. So the final constraint that you'll find isn't that common. So where you have to access all the bits, you have to find out all the bits and everything. So you'll find that your n is very small, which is less than equal to 20, right? So this is our final constraint here. All right. So now let's talk about, by the, first of all, of course, by induction, you can see that all of these will be valid, right? Because of course 20 is less than 10 to the power 10 square, and 10 to the power 3 and 10 to the power 9, everything else. So definitely all of these are valid. And then finally, let's go on to the exponent. So the worst case scenario will be 2 to the power 20. So when this comes, this is, as I mentioned, approximately 10 to the power 7. So this is also valid, right? So you can see that the table is complete, that all of these constraints and all of these time complexities are mapped with each other. So if you find any complexity that you want to use and check out the constraint, you can check from this table and its corresponding row. If it's a yes, then that complexity is valid for that question, or if it's a cross, it is not valid. So let's just summarize it in a short manner. So what we can say is that, let me write it here, that you can use iterations up till 10 to the power 8. I know that I used 10 to the power 7, but hold on. You can use iterations less than 10 to the power 8 right? And greater than 10 to the power 7. But for this range, you need fast IO. And anything less than 10 to the power 7, it's a valid time complexity. If you're using a number of operations less than 10 to the power 7, that is definitely valid. If you're using greater than 10 to the power 7, then your number of operations should be less than 10 to the power 8. And in that case, you have to use fast IO. So I hope that this concept is now clear to you and you loved the explanation today. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with all your friends. And thank you for coming back. Keep coding, stay safe. Thank you.